Number 1. Portuguese is a Romance language that comes from Latin. This means that it tends to have grammatical gender, conjugation systems, more verb forms than English, and lots of vocabulary that is taken from Latin. You'll often notice that advanced English words resemble Portuguese, because both inherited a lot of Latin words. Even so, the same alphabet is also shared by the two languages, but Portuguese has accent marks and special characters, leading us to number 2. Portuguese has written vowel accents that can change the meaning of a word. Unlike English, these marks are necessary, and they often tell you which syllable is stressed, how a vowel sounds, and whether a vowel is nasal. Essentially, one small mark can completely change the meaning, and in Portuguese, there are 4 accent marks and a special character, which will be explained in the alphabet video. For now, it's good to know that accents can only be placed on vowels, and that the special character changes pronunciation. Number 3. Sentence structure and word order are basic, having a subject, verb, and object, but Portuguese is more flexible, because verb endings indicate the subject. Additionally, adjectives can come after nouns, and pronouns can be omitted, because verb endings specify the subject. Number 4. Portuguese is much more inflected than English, so it has grammatical gender, masculine or feminine, that affects nouns, adjectives, and articles. Because verbs change form, word endings tend to have grammatical information, so Portuguese changes words more extensively. English does not have this concept, so it's something to get used to. Number 5. Conjugation is central in Portuguese, because verbs change for person and number depending on the subject, tense, and mood. Still, the language has similar functions to English, having a present, past, future, conditional, and imperative. When it comes to verb systems, infinitives are categorized by verb endings. Ar, ir. Unlike English, every subject has its own form, and due to this concept, subject pronouns can be dropped, because conjugations already specify the subject. This may seem hard, but it will become predictable. Number 6. Portuguese distinguishes several types of you, having an informal you, a common modern form, a plural you, and a formal you. Tu, você, vocês, o senhor, a senhora. For now, do not worry about letters and pronunciation, because the point here is that the usage of you depends on region and situation, so using the formal you shows politeness and respect. Number 7. Portuguese pronunciation is more consistent than English, but it has sounds that can be unfamiliar, like nasal vowels, open and closed vowels, and different r sounds. Such sounds naturally do not exist in English, which can be hard to learn, but with time, sound patterns will become obvious. For instance, the following word, no, means no, but it has a tilde over the letter a. This makes the vowel be pronounced using the mouth and nose. No. At the same time, depending on position and dialect, the letter r may sound similar to the English H, a rolled r, or a tapped r. When it comes to reduced vowels, many vowels are weakened or disappear, especially in European Portuguese, but not in Brazilian Portuguese. As a result, spoken Portuguese can sound different from its spelling in practice and speech. Number 8. Portuguese has two main verbs that express to be, ser and estar. Ser is mainly used for permanent characteristics, explaining what something is factually, but estar is used for temporary states and conditions. This topic should be thoroughly explained in a separate video, but the concept creates a distinction between something permanent and temporary. Number 9. Portuguese has a progressive aspect, using estar plus a gerund to show ongoing actions that are happening right now. In English, this is equivalent to using to be plus ing for continuous actions, but in Portuguese, the formation is slightly different. Number 10. Portuguese has two main types of past tenses: the preterite for completed past actions, and the imperfect for ongoing and habitual actions. As a fun fact, English and Portuguese share past tenses, like the simple past, present perfect, and past perfect, but the most essential forms are the preterite and imperfect. These tenses add a lot of nuance that English sometimes doesn't have, but the key point is that the preterite is used for specific past actions, while the imperfect describes ongoing actions in the past. Number 11. Portuguese has multiple variations in the subjunctive mood, expressing unreal things and using wishes, emotion, doubt, or any other idea that leads to possibility and uncertainty. In general, many learners know what it's used for, but don't understand the purpose of the mood. The generic definition is that it's used for emotion, doubt, desire, and necessity, but all of these ideas express possibility and uncertainty. This explains why the subjunctive is a mood and not a tense, because a mood is a temporary state of mind. I indicate this in the beginning so that you can understand what the subjunctive actually means, and in Portuguese, there are 3 variations, along with compound forms that have auxiliary verbs and past participles, which will be shown at the end of the grammar. Number 12. Portuguese has 2 main dialects in the world that vary by region: Brazilian and European. Today, Portuguese is spoken by more than 250 million people, so just like American and British English, the dialects of Portuguese are mutually intelligible. Still, there are African varieties where Portuguese is spoken, like Angola and Mozambique. While there's a lot to learn about Portuguese dialects, this focus on Portuguese grammar will primarily be based on Brazilian Portuguese. Of course, many differences exist in lexicon and pronunciation, but all dialects are mutually understandable. I've decided to focus on Brazilian Portuguese because it has the largest number of worldwide speakers and clear vowel sounds, which makes it easier for beginners. European Portuguese, on the other hand, has a faster rhythm, more reduced vowels, and older features that affect the grammar. Some of you may want to learn European Portuguese, so while the main focus will be on Brazilian, I will occasionally show certain dialectal differences in grammar lessons, especially at the end of the grammar. In conclusion, these are things to know before learning Portuguese, so it's a more structured system than English. By focusing on the foundation of Portuguese, you will understand the concepts, practically speak the language, and write sentences to see how things fit together. In the next videos, Portuguese grammar can begin, starting with the alphabet.